Go ahead, Kim. Why don't you start it off?
Um, are we going right into the role play, or are
No,
we?
let's. I mean, tell them a little bit about yourself. Some of the, um, what you find is important. What's led you to your success. That
Sure,
kind of stuff.
sure. I've been an agent with Keller Williams for 10 years. I live and breathe everything they teach me, bold, quantum leap, every single thing. I engage absolutely fully. I'm a single agent that closed just under $11 million last year in production, with one transaction coordinator and one executive assistant. I live by my database. I don't buy one single lead. And my focus is constantly on meeting new people, getting them in my database, and mailing them birthday cards and constantly reaching out to them. And 98% of the transactions I closed last year were from my sphere of influence, direct referrals from people that I've done business with. So that's a little bit of a background on me. And so my script is going to be extremely geared towards these people in my database that I've been care calling this entire time.
Cool. Cool. So my name's Fred. I'm the productivity coach both at Allentown and in Bethlehem. Last year, I also did a little bit over $7 million in closed volume by myself with a transaction coordinator. So my big thing really is about mindset. One of the things that in the Millionaire Real Estate book that Gary talked about was, everybody can be successful, yet not everybody will, right? It's available to all of us. And it's really the same thing about lead generation, if you think about it, right? Everybody has the same ability to pick up the phone or door knock or whatever, and only the people who do it actually see that success. There's nothing that's stopping us other than the 6 inches in between our ears. And if we can control that and tame that, so, whatever we want to do, we're certainly able to do that. When I think about my track from 6.5 years ago, where I was when I first started to where I am now, I imagined it, but who'd have ever thought it would become a reality? And like Usha said, and Bob and JD, it's if you just do the work, it's about consistency. That's what it is. It's not a big thing once. It's about little things built up time after time after time, kind of like what Darren Hardy talks about in the compound effect, right? It's about small progressions every day over a course of a year add up to be huge. So, I mean, that's my big thing. That's what I talk a lot about with the people in our coaching program. It's about, just improvement. It's not about perfection. And all I care about is if we're a little bit better today than we were yesterday. And I think that's why we were the #1 program last year in KPG because of that. So you want to jump into our script practice here, Kim?
Yeah. Let's jump into it.
All right. So backstory is I'm somebody that Kim has been talking to. We've been holding off listing the property until after the after the shutdown. So Kim's reaching out to me, and we're gonna go from there.
All right. Ring, ring.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, Fred. It's Kim Rosado. How are you?
Hey, Kim. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, thanks for coming to my virtual scavenger hunt last week that I had for you guys. The kids looked like they had so much fun.
Oh my God, they loved it.
You guys are fierce competitors. So Fred, I just wanted to reach out to you because, as you know, I always want to do more for you than I'm ever going to want from you. So I want to have a plan as to where we go from here, whether that be next week or next year. I know that before the shutdown, we were talking about listing the home on Liberty and then moving you into the Nazareth School District.
Mm-hmm.
So my intention today is just to kind of talk about that and see where you are with that.
Well, that's what we were kind of talking about, but is now really the right time to put it on the market? Kind of a little nervous with everything that's happening.
Yeah. I can tell you that the last 3 listings I put up had multiple offers on them. And the last 3 buyers that I took out were competing in a multiple offer situation. So if your question, is it the time to sell now? Yes, it is. Also, rates are still low, and they're saying that that's going to stay the same for a little while now. So, we're gonna be living in a pretty healthy market over the summer. So yes, when you're speaking about the market, it is an absolutely great time to sell. Inventory is down and the buyer pool is bountiful. So yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. The one thing though that kind of concerns me though is, my wife has an immune disorder, and I'm really kind of nervous about people coming through and all that kind of stuff because I really don't want to expose her to any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that question so much. You know, the governor has put lots of things in place for us to protect our consumers, and Keller Williams as a company has gone even above and beyond that. So I will have a stock of gloves, masks, and booties at the front of your home, as well as sanitizer. We're going to be spacing showings out an hour at a time, and only one agent and two consumers are allowed to be in your home at one time. I'll also require, as long as you're okay with it, that every person coming to see your home has a pre-approval, so that we're only allowing, you know, ready, willing, and able buyers into your home. I do have a procedure already laid out that I would be emailing to you prior, which would include you turning on all lights and opening all doors. So the surfaces that anyone is going to be touching is going to be minimal as well.
Okay. All right. I mean, it sounds like you've thought this through pretty well.
Absolutely. In fact, we built out an entire procedure. You know how important my clients are to me over the years working with me, and it's my absolute top priority to make sure that I'm still able to achieve all of my clients' real estate goals while keeping them and their families safe through this.
Okay. So what's the next step then?
So I would like to come over next Tuesday at 3 p.m. if that would work for you and Ann, so I can lay all this out and we can go over everything.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. We can do that.
Okay, just know that I'll have you sign a few COVID addendums prior to me arriving. Also, these are the same addendums that we have consumers sign before they come in your home. There's a health screening assessment and another document that we would have you, carefully read over and sign before I come. And then, like I said, these will be the identical documents that anyone entering your home would sign as well.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, send them over so I can look at them.
Okay, I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, Fred.
All right, great. So good job, Kim.
Thank you.
Did you see how Kim used a story in there? She used an example of how she's done things and the success that she's had over the closing, right? If you listen to a lot of big agents, facts and figures are good, and that certainly lends credibility to your market knowledge. But interweaving stories about past successes is a lot of times a lot more impactful because people can relate to that. So what I would suggest is, if you can do that, certainly do that, because it makes it more conversational, and two, makes it way more relatable, right? Because if I just throw out statistics all the time, I just sound like a statistician. I'm not human. And please don't get me wrong. I mean, I do believe statistics are super important because it does show that you are on top of the market. But remember, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And part of the way to gain that additional trust and the likability of you is by creating those stories, and the stories that show past success.
Thank you, Fred. There's three things, if we have a couple more minutes, that I also wanted to share with you guys that was given to me by an amazing coach. Do I have 30 seconds?
You guys have 3 minutes. So
okay. If everybody could write down these three questions, these were
actually technically you got 8 minutes. So
well, then I'll talk really slow. These three questions were asked to me by one of my real estate idols, Michael Ann Byerly. She's a bold coach. She's a powerhouse. And these, I look at them every single day. So write these questions down and answer them to yourself later. Number one, where am I ignoring the fundamentals? It's a really powerful question. Number two, what is the one fundamental I haven't been doing that I must focus on right now, today? And number three, what is the one fundamental that I must instill to thrive during this market of the moment? So that could be different than it was 6 months ago. So it's the market of the moment. The landscape for being a realtor right now has absolutely changed. Heads down, hearts up. And those questions were really powerful for me. I did take 3 listings last week and put 3 under agreement. So it's just doing these and listening to all the amazing coaching that we're getting from Keller Williams right now. That was so powerful. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Kim, do you want to repeat those again, just in case I didn't get them?
Sure. Number one is, where am I ignoring the fundamentals? And number two is, what is the one fundamental I haven't been doing that I must focus on right now, today? For me, that was handwritten notes. I was doing a lot of phone calls, but people love those handwritten notes, especially when you're sphere heavy. They just love them. They text you, they thank you. And then number 3 is, what is the one fundamental that I must instill to thrive during this market of the moment? Because that's what Gary's saying, right? It's the market of the moment that we have to shift into.
Kim, can you share with the group your routine of how you are reaching out to all your clients in your database?
Sure. I've held 2 client appreciation events during the quarantine. My thing is usually in person, but I've had to shift and do a virtual scavenger hunt, a virtual Easter egg hunt. I'm calling them for 2 hours in the morning. I am constantly watching on Facebook. My admin watches on Facebook for birth announcements, engagement, and they're immediately getting a card with a little gift card for a baby Target or whatever. So 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon for those that I know are working in the morning, and then at night after dinner, quietly for about an hour, I handwrite notes. Hey, I drove by your house. Those new flowers are beautiful. Love, Kimberly. XOXO. Something. I'm very, very personal with my database, and that's my thing. And they know that I'm like their family. So I touch them and constantly. And I didn't learn that concept until like my 6th or 7th year in the business. So I've built this in like basically 3 years. This strong database support. So.
Hey, Usha, can I ask? You mind if I ask him a question? Fred, you mind if I ask a question real quick?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes.
Kim, do you send out note cards to agents, co-op agents?
Not consistently. I have to.
Ooh, there we go. A coaching opportunity here. Awesome. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to ask you, Kim, as religiously as you are, and this is a learning lesson for everybody else, but do you like profit share?
I love it. I have it. Yes.
Right. Do you think that you could improve your profit share for the TLs that are on the call here today? Do you think you might have an impact on agents in sending a card also to your co-op agents that all the deals and transactions you do?
JD, 2 agents have joined KWA as a direct influence of me and my happiness and loveliness and outgoing. So yes, punch in the face. Absolutely. What a that's why we do this.
We love you, Kim. And, we're always learning, right? We always go, and the question is, what is the one fundamental that I'm not doing, that I'm ignoring, right? And there we go. And you know what? There's a huge opportunity because there are people that are drawn to where we have so much value to help them, right? Because where else is a ton of support and value.